Hello and welcome to NSK's PV Power Hour for December 23rd, 2017. My name is Miyoshi, and this is a podcast about Japanese idols brought to you by NewSchoolCotton.com. And I'm joined by Charlie Draco. Cat, what's up?
It's cold.
It's cold, 5 degrees outside, you said, right?
No, like six, five,
That,
six, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It is crisp 77 outside for me, so yeah, it's getting cold, man. Yeah, man, it's kind of rough.
Oh, according to my phone, it's 4 degrees.
Jesus Christ. All right, so we're sitting here on the opposite ends of the temperature spectrum this time of the year.
Yeah, yeah. You're sunny and partly cloudy, and I'm freezing with partly cloudy and snow.
Yep. So I basically lucked out, but we
Yeah.
do get the heat 90% of the year, so in a way we don't luck out. But depending on what you like, I guess. Not
That
too
depends
bad.
on that depends on if you want, more than one season.
Right, exactly. I have one season, it's summer, and I
I
get
I
3 weeks of winter, basically.
I get like two, maybe three if you're lucky.
Yeah.
It's like summer, fall, kinda, sorta, maybe winter, kinda, sorta, spring, but not
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
So, this is the eve of Christmas Eve, and if you're watching us live, it is the 23rd, but if you're listening to this on podcast, it's probably going to be Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you, or if you celebrate other holidays this time of the year, Happy Holidays to you, and we are going to be talking about some idol releases, not so holiday themed, because we basically have talked about all the holiday themed ones, which there wasn't a lot, I feel like.
No, there wasn't many at all.
Yeah, so it was kind of a weird
They,
release like window where there's like a couple of things we talked about that was holiday themed, and then there's nothing else.
yeah. I feel like Japan does that though. They don't really do much holiday theme wise, unless it's like Valentine's Day.
Or maybe it's like commercials and like TV stuff. It's like holiday themed than
Yeah, maybe.
music. So yeah. All right, so we got six PVs we're gonna talk about. First up, someday somewhere.
Six, I thought we had five.
We have six,
Uh,
and the song is called "Again and Again." And someday somewhere is the second unit to Last Idol. God, this is just getting convoluted by the day. And they
and it,
just announced they're doing a second season of Last Idol with more groups and 5 different music producers. So,
well, okay. At least there's different music producers.
yeah.
This one isn't, though, is there?
No.
There's,
This is all probably handpicked by Akimoto Yasushi.
yeah, and all the songs are Aki P.
Right, it sounds like Aki P songs. It's songs that he would pick out. It
Well,
sounds
I'm pretty sure. I don't think the arrangement and composition is done by him, but I'm pretty
he
sure
never does. Yeah.
the
He's the but
lyrics
he
are.
he picks the songs though. He's the one that says, "I like this song, so I'm going to write lyrics to this song."
Yeah.
And they just credit the composer who came up with it. It's not like he goes out seeking like, "Oh, I want you to write this for me." He just has a bank of like 1,000 songs and he pulls from it, and then he just credits the composer of it.
Yeah. And this is not the last group that is going to come out of this first
No,
season.
because we haven't actually talked about the actual group that comes out of the first season, so
Yeah.
that
Well,
is coming up next.
there's Last Idol, Good
Yep.
Tears,
Yep.
Tsukiremu Dakus,
Mm-hmm.
and Love Coochie.
And then Someday Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 groups.
Love Coochie.
Yeah. Just get over it, man. Just move on. It's fucking stupid. It makes no sense.
Aki P, do you not, have enough fingers and enough pies and, like, eat enough every day that you, need more?
He can't help but create more idol groups, basically.
No, I think you're right. I think he's addicted to it.
All right, just
But
creating more and more.
I wouldn't have an issue with him if he was, like, the general producer or general director or whatever, if he didn't write all the songs, too.
Well, he didn't write the songs. He picks them.
No, he wrote the lyrics for this song.
Well, yeah, but that's not what makes the song though. The lyrics are the
But he's still
basic.
doing work for making the song.
Yeah, yeah, but the thing is, he might as well write it because he picks the songs that he likes, and they all sound very specific. That's his issue.
Yeah. He just needs to not deal with the songs.
He needs to hire people to actually write different songs, not have
Yeah.
a billion songs in a bank and then just pick out the ones he likes.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
this PV is what is I don't know what is going on. This one girl is stuck in a chair the entire time. She's sitting basically 99% of the PV. There's one scene where she's looks like she might be standing up, so I thought maybe she was injured. Maybe she had an ankle issue or a leg issue. Or maybe I thought maybe they picked a paraplegic girl. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. I know of one girl that was similar to her. She performed sitting down.
Right. Mitsu Aika.
No. No, Kimura Yui.
Okay.
She was part of Hanayashiki theater group.
Okay.
And I would when I
Wait,
first,
she was disabled?
uh
Or she had an injury?
she had issues.
Oh, okay.
Um
I'm not trying to make light of any disabilities.
well, like I said, she had issues.
Right, right.
She passed
Jesus.
in, like 2005.
Oh God.
Or no, 2015. I initially thought it was her, or it could be her, and I had to look it up, and that's how I found out that she
That
passed
she
away.
died. Oh my God.
She actually had cancer,
Oh God.
and she ended up losing her leg before.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
and they
feel
did
like
a
an
whole.
asshole.
They did a book and a documentary on her, and yeah.
Jesus.
So I don't know what the story is with this girl.
Yeah. So
I don't know if it's an
if you're
injury
familiar
or...
with them, just let us know because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I could not find anything. I tried looking it up. I could not find anything on her that said.
Yeah.
I found some other people that weren't her, but I couldn't find anything on her.
Right. So I thought that was kind of. It stood out. Let's just say it stood out.
Yeah, it does because I looked at her Twitter and it appears she's sitting down in most of the stuff she did.
I mean, which
pictures.
a lot of people when they're taking selfies are sitting down, right? Because they're in their dressing rooms or getting changed,
leaning
or whatever.
against a wall, or standing in front of a mirror.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I could probably go through some idol Twitters and see that a lot of pictures of them are sitting down. So I don't know. I don't want to say anything, but that's just that's how it came across.
I don't know. It does definitely come across as more than an injury.
Right.
Yeah.
Or this is some deliberate thing that's supposed to be a part of the story.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, there is a scene where a girl does fall down and mess up her ankles. I don't know if that's her, but that happens at the end. So I don't know, like, what's the timeline here? When they're in the white dresses, is that like afterwards or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a seishu drama thing, and
yeah, there really isn't any drama though. It's just them hanging out at school, and there's no one else at school, and
some practice
shots, and then the rest of it is them shooting a dance shot in the middle of a lawn, and then the center girl is sitting in a chair in the middle.
Yeah.
So,
and she's sitting in the classroom a lot.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, is she standing ever? So that's why
I
it
don't
stood
think
out
so.
to me.
I don't know if it's. I had a hard time telling if it was her at the end that hurt her ankle.
Right. It's I'm not familiar enough with the group. This is their first thing, so
yeah,
I don't know.
And I
whoever
didn't watch,
is well informed could inform us about that.
I didn't watch Last Idol.
Yeah.
So
after watching these PVs, I don't ever need to watch Last Idol. I would rather watch like Yeah, they're completely different shows, but I'd rather watch like Nogi whatever or Keakite Kakeru or whatever. This just feels like a Nogizaka album song or B-side. So,
I would say this one feels more like something I would expect from Keyakizaka, whereas the next one is more Nogizaka for me.
yeah, I think they both run in a
But
similar
then
path.
again, Nogi and Keyaki are, in the
They're,
same path too.
yeah, they're basically the same thing. There are
But
minor differences, but they're the same thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, this just feels like another like up tempo, not up tempo, but like a mid range piano, like uplifting pop song, I guess.
Yeah.
It's really subtle and soft,
Yep.
and it does nothing for me. But I do have to say the melodies are pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good.
I felt this one had more emotion, more feeling
Yep.
in it
Than the
than
other groups, right? Than the
Good
Last Idol
Tears
stuff. Yeah.
or
Or Last Idol.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely felt this one was better
It's the
than what
best one.
they're promoting as the winner.
Yep.
The winner just yeah, we'll get into that one next, but
Yep. But this is the best thing I've seen from Last Idol family. So
yeah. Yeah.
Which-
This one
it doesn't say much, but if you were to ask me which one, sparked your interest the most, I would say Someday Somewhere.
yeah. Not only because the members sound better and sound like they're actually invested in the song and not just, oh yeah, I'm getting paid for this. There's some intrigue to the members. There's some mystery there that we don't know.
Like, is she injured or a paraplegic?
Yeah, is she injured or is there something more to her story?
Right.
And if there is something more, I'll be interested to see how they continue to handle it.
Yeah, that's probably the most interesting part about this is like if she turns out, oh, this was just a thing for the PV, then I'm just gonna laugh it off and go, ha ha ha, I guess that was interesting for the PV.
Yeah.
But then like if she turns out to be actually disabled or going through some injury physical issues, then like shit, I wanna know like what happens, from here on out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and even if it is just for the PV, at least they created intrigue.
yeah,
They
we talked about it, right? That's
yeah, it something that makes you stop and pay attention.
right.
It's not like a Nogizaka PV where it's just like, yeah, they ran around the school and they played piano and they did this in the gym and
Oh,
yeah.
you suck at kendo or fucking
Yeah.
or the naginata or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, she's better than me in a drawing.
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened. That actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the last single,
Yep.
wasn't it?
Yep. The last Nogizaka single we talked about was about the Naginata team, and I think it might have had the drawing part too. But I remember vividly because
Yeah,
they were
probably.
practicing the spears, and they're like, "Oh, I suck, and that girl's better."
Yeah.
That drama, like fuck that.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything else on this?
Yeah, I mean the PV's shot with some Japan filter, but it's done fairly well.
Yeah.
It's no heart shaker, that's for damn sure.
Nothing is heart shaker. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sure if we looked, we could find one or
Yeah.
two
I don't like that.
that
PV
we've talked
personally.
about.
Yeah, I don't like that PV, but whatever.
Uh,
All right, rate it.
I'm gonna give this song a. I'll give it a 70. I'll give it a 76. I enjoyed listening to this song. It's not as up tempo as I would prefer, but it's not depressing like some of what I feel from Nogizaka. The PV I'll give it a 74. It's done well enough, but it's not that interesting. You're not gonna watch it more than maybe 3 times.
Too late. I've already watched like 10 times.
Well,
So
we're the exception to that rule.
great.
though.
Fuck me, right? We're the
Yeah.
suckers. I'll give the PV a 64. It's shot nicely, but it has nothing that I grab onto except for the fact that she's sitting in a chair the entire time. There is a shot on the roof where she looks like she's standing, but it's hard to tell. Maybe they shot it in a way where she isn't standing, or they made it look like she's standing. I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting for one of these PVs, but still, there's no one else in the school. The atmosphere is dead. It's desolate and like a fucking ghost town, and it's depressing to watch. Song, I'll give a 74. I 74. Yeah, 74 is okay. It's it's not as good as I want it to be. There are better ballady type songs, but it has a decent hook there, and it's not a complete sleeper. And I think the vocal treatment is way better than like what we'd hear from like if Nogizaka did this. So I appreciate that. Let's someday somewhere again and again. Next up, Last Idol. This is the shit that we're gonna talk about. This is the culmination.
Yeah.
And the song's called Bandwagon.
I'm not. I'm not getting on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable outside of the wagon.
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 degrees outside, I am fine with sitting outside in 4 degree weather. And there's a familiar face in this group, actually. The one that stood out to me was Yoshizaki Aya, which we've talked about a couple times in the past. She did the duo unit with 243, the girl that used to hide her face.
Okay.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's in this, and that's cool. So I have some frame of reference, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember her.
The thing with Last Idol is that a lot of the members used to be in either like a group or some sort of production company, so they're like established in the business, I guess. So that's good to see, but you wouldn't be able to tell from just watching this.
Yeah. No. You
It just
really wouldn't.
it just seems like, hey, Aki P made a group that vaguely sounds like Nogizaka,
Yeah.
but with 7 members instead of
12 or
80,000.
48
Yeah.
or yeah.
And yeah, this PV, what is this PV? Because there's no theme really.
Water.
There's, yeah, because they're walking on it at one point, but it's
They're
not
dancing
necessarily
in
a, yeah, it's not like a theme that's throughout the PV, you know, it's just that one dance shot. The rest of the PV's like random shots of that, and then like light bulb mirror room, and then
Yeah,
fucking
like
rooftop.
supposed to be a I don't know. I don't know what is it supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be anything. It makes no sense.
Is it supposed to be like a dressing room where you're supposed to be able to check out how you look?
Right. I think that's the idea. But like why?
I don't know.
And then there's like a projected shot of the city, and the members are standing in front of the projection screen. What?
And they're dancing on the helipad.
Yeah, and it's like, what is that? Like dawn?
Uh,
Or is
I'm
that a
not sure.
sunset? I don't know. Either or. It's like this mid.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's like a dark with a little bit of sun poking through. And I don't know what the theme is. Like bandwagon doesn't really. This doesn't seem like a bandwagon theme. I don't think they understand. I don't think Occupy understands what bandwagon is.
No.
Just looking at the PV, maybe the lyrics go into it, but looking at the
Maybe.
PV, there's nothing bandwagony about this.
Maybe. Yeah. I just. I find this song very flat.
It's flat. It's soulless. Um, lacks a punch.
You know, we've given other idol groups criticism for being nervous and emotionless in their videos, but
Yeah,
this is just if they're already experienced in some degree, they should be better than this.
yep. It looks very like they're you. I wouldn't be able to tell a difference between them and an indie debut, right? It's
Yeah.
the only difference is that they have a budget going on and they're able to have like a producer that can like touch up the voices and layer it in a way that their bad vocals or maybe bad vocals won't be shown, you know, like how they do it with AKS groups. Other than that, like them like looking as uncomfortable as possible, it makes it seem like this is definitely like a debut and not because they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
And I
I don't know. It's just is it the members or is it the director or the producer?
mm,
That's the real question.
it's probably a lot of it probably on the director. They probably wanted them to do some sort of like serious emotional type of thing, but they took emotional and serious as like deadpan and soulless.
Yeah. Uh. Um. Apparently, she broke her foot.
That makes sense. That explains it. Yeah,
So,
so this PV is not good and very boring and flat like the song.
it it's got more production value put into it. I won't say they got more out of it, but they put more into it than they
Right.
did with Someday, and got less out of it.
It's magically possible
Oh
somehow.
yeah, yeah,
God, like the mirror, like when they're standing in front of a mirror and it's just a solo member shot and then you see the reflection on the mirror. That shot looks terrible. Like the
yeah,
lighting is so bad.
yeah.
It's incredible. The oh God, just the location, the lighting. It's just
I
not
mean,
an interesting PV to watch.
the most interesting scene is in there for what, like 15 seconds or less, when they're on the rooftop
Yeah,
helipad.
I mean that is the most like easy to take in kind of scene. Everything else is like either laser beams like at you or the lighting is weird and dark. It's
Yeah,
it's not fun to watch.
yeah. I, I'm trying to understand, Aki P of this, and it just doesn't. I don't get it.
Someone apparently asked for more of these kinds of groups. Someone asked for 5 more of these kinds of groups somehow.
Two wasn't enough. I mean, you couldn't have made it like a team G for Nogizaka.
No. Last title 46. That's what I'm
Yeah,
taking this as. This music
they,
doesn't even sound like AKB, so I don't even want to bring AKB into the conversation. This music sounds like Nogizaka, and it's they might as well be a Nogizaka sister group at this point. They offer nothing different from Nogizaka, aside from the fact that there are 7 members instead of 16 Senbatsu members.
yeah.
So, anything else?
No, no.
Rate it.
I'm gonna give the oh boy this one. I'm gonna give the PV a 62. It's really boring. I don't think I watched it after the first time I saw it. I listened to it, but I don't think I watched it.
I watched this 3 times before the show, and I hated every time I watched it.
Yeah,
The only thing that kept me going was Yoshizaki Aya. That's literally the only reason.
and I don't even know which one she is.
She's
So.
like the second front member with the short hair, and she's short. Or maybe everyone else is tall. I don't know, but she's really short in this.
All right.
So
The song I'm gonna give a 52.
yeah,
Yeah, it's bad.
that's about right.
Actually, it's not bad. It's just really dull.
Yeah, like it's so dull that it makes it bad. I think that's the problem.
Well, actually, no, it is bad because there's no emotion in it.
Right. It feels
It's
empty.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yeah. I agree, 100%. PV, I'll give like a 58. I think it's got value, production value, I guess. The helipad is kind of cool. The lighting, the laser show and the water thing is an interesting idea, but I don't think it's well shot. Um, it's not a fun PV to watch, like I've said 100 times already. And the song, I got 61. It's not it's not fun to listen to. It's just like a bad Nogizaka B-side, basically, to me. Sorry, I'm dismissing Nogizaka at the same time I'm dismissing this. So, yeah, sorry, not a good night for Nogizaka fans. Apologize. All right, that's Last Idol Bandwagon.
Apparently, the number was ahead of us on this one, and wrote an article on the Someday Somewhere PV.
Yeah, yeah.
It's where's the member name here? Majima Bakana. Apparently, she had an accident and broke her foot.
Yep. Oh,
Which, yeah,
that provides context, but they somehow made that work, and
well, it's just good to know that it's not,
yeah, something serious, like super serious.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up, what the shit is this? Trollearttroll, Lost.
Oh, it is Troll Eat Troll. Oh God, I read that as Troll with an E, Art Troll.
Yeah, I didn't understand how to pronounce it until I read the about section. And it was like Tororu ito Tororu. I'm like, oh, troll eat troll. Okay, so
So, who's trolling who here? The producer, music writer person, or Rie?
I mean, I don't know who's doing it, but we're the ones definitely getting trolled.
Yeah,
We're the ones getting bamboozled.
yeah. I don't know what this is. Okay,
I don't either.
it's an atmospheric, techno-y song
Yeah.
with like whisper vocals almost.
All right. It's absolutely atmospheric, and like I guess the idea of Troll Eat Troll is for her to collaborate with people in like fashion, music, photography, video, so like art industry people.
Which is, yeah, the feel I got from it. It's
Yeah,
more,
this is art. This is definitely art.
yeah, it's more of an art piece than a song.
Yeah, they're not trying to sell CDs here. They are trying to make an art piece and make a statement with their art, whatever that statement is.
Yeah, I'm not into high art, so
Yeah, I don't.
this goes
fucking
way
get
over, way over my head.
Yeah, I'm too dumb for this shit. I'm a fucking Neanderthal compared to the people who made this.
Rie looks really good.
She looks good, but she's fucking soaking wet. I feel bad for her.
She's, But yeah, I don't get this. I enjoyed her voice, and that's about the biggest thing I can say about it.
Right. I mean, her voice matches this atmospheric, moody piece, right? It
Yeah,
makes sense. Her she's always had this like she's never been a strong singer. What she's always had
yeah.
was like this whispery, like cutesy quality to it.
Hmm.
So her voice makes sense in a piece like this. So I appreciate the fact that they did a song like this, but that doesn't really mean that it's an exciting song per se.
No.
It's interesting. You know, it's like if I went to a museum and saw art and I go, wow, that's a really pretty drawing. But
Yeah.
then my thought stops there because I'm not
Yeah.
able to process more than that because I'm not like, I don't know, I don't have like an art bone in my body except for just playing drums, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of symbolism in this.
Right.
I don't get the flowers
Right. It's like a
that
specific
look
flower and
like Cthulhu's head or something.
right. It's like tentacles. Yeah.
Really weird looking flower.
Yeah.
I don't get that. You know, why is she wet? Why is she soaked in water?
That that's art, man.
These are the questions I ask, and I don't get it.
I mean, that's what people. Some people define art as something that makes you question, right? Things, right?
Yeah, I
Like you're
guess.
supposed to define it yourself. Like each person has a different like meaning to it.
God,
So like
no.
when you see like a Jackson Pollock painting where it just looks like he just took like different colors of paint and like ate it and then shitted it out, then you're like, what is that supposed to mean? I'm sure Jackson Pollock, when he painted it, he saw it as this. But what do you see it as? That's art, right?
Yeah,
I think that's the point of art. Or
yeah,
high art, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. But I just, I, I'm not high art.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
that highbrow.
I'm okay with listening to like shitty songs with like really good hooks. I am that's my shit.
Yeah.
And this is not
Yeah.
a shitty song with a strong hook. It's like the opposite.
And watching girls run around a studio acting like an orangutan.
That too.
I'm okay with that.
That works too. Yep.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, I enjoy her voice, but I'm not gonna seek this out.
I think this would be like a really good like video game soundtrack song.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it would set the tone for like a creepy dungeon.
I could see that. And it does. You mentioned on Discord or somewhere, Haji Metal, and it
Mhm.
does give me some of that feel too. But
Right.
Haji Metal did stuff that was actually catchy and
Right.
had
It
a hook
was
to it.
yeah, it always had some sort of like structure. This is less structure for sure.
Yeah,
Um so I think, it's definitely like we said, it's a total art piece.
yeah. And I have no clue how to rate it.
Yep. It's hard. It really is. When it gets to high art, it's hard to rate because for me when I come across stuff like this, I don't have an emotional investment because it doesn't really connect with me. So I have to judge it based on like what I see it objectively. I just don't have like a subjective view on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know the song is talking about being 19 and lost and
Right. The idea is that she's turning 20 soon, so her teenage years are basically done.
yeah,
So,
which I could definitely identify with that aspect of turning adult. Um,
yeah. I don't know. If you want to rate it, try and rate it, or if you want me to rate it, I will rate it.
um, I don't know how to rate this. I really don't. It's just
I'm going to I'm just going to score it on like how I feel about it or how much enjoyment I got out of it. So, it's probably going to be like not great. But like I would give the PV like a 70. Like it's shot nicely, but the imagery and stuff doesn't really speak to me and all that shit. It's too artsy for me. Song, I would say it's like a 74. It's got a like there's like hooks in there slightly, but it just kind of fades in and out a lot, so it's not like a consistent hook, and it's not like the type of music that I've listened to all the time. It's definitely for me like I would appreciate it in like a soundtrack of some kind, and I am not a soundtrack person at all, so yeah, the music really doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that score.
Just go with the same score.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's Trollearttroll Lost, or kind of Korea, I guess. And next up, speaking of high art, definitely not. SK48, Mushiki no Iro. Uh, also translated as Color of Unconsciousness. The fuck?
Okay.
And, yeah. And this is the 10th anniversary SKE single. So the idea for the PV is that the members change into outfits from the singles of the past, starting with Tsuyoki Monoyo, and it goes on and on and on.
Oh God. It's hard to. It's really hard to believe it's been 10 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
Um, am I right in that only the original members that still exist in the group are the ones that perform in the outfits?
No. Is Oya Masana still around? I don't know. I feel like she left at some point, but she also surprised me a couple times going, "Oh, she's still around." So,
don't know. But was she in Tsuyoki Mono now?
she left.
Tsuyoki Mono.
Oh shit, she left in November this year. Oh god. Okay. But yes, I think she was in Tsuyoki Monoyo.
I'm trying to think if I have to look and see because I'm trying to think if Suda Akane was in it.
She was Oya Masano was in Tsuyoki Monoyo. Onohara, Kuwabara Mizuki, Shinkai Rina, Takai Tsukina, Takarashi Ori, Deguchi Aki, Nakanishi Yuka, Hirata Rikako, Hiromatsu Kanako, Matsu Drina, Matsu Rena, Matsuda Yui, Mori, Sayuki, Yagami Kumi, Yamashita Moe are the Tsuyoki Monoyo Senbatsu. Because it was a Team S song.
Yeah.
And K2 did a version of Tsuyoki Monoyo, but... oh, wait. No, that's... Yeah, I think...
Monoyo came out before K2 debuted, didn't they?
Probably. No, not necessarily. No, they debuted. K2 debuted in 2009 June. They did the Aitakata stage.
And this came
God,
out.
it's so fucking convoluted.
This came out in 2009 in August.
Yeah. So K2 had debuted already.
So. Okay, so it was. They released both versions on the theater.
Right. But the PV only had Team S members, I believe.
So technically, even though some of K2 Senbatsu are still there,
Yeah.
J is the only one from S that's still there.
That was from Tsuyoki Monoyo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it is only the members that were in it. Because J's the only one that does Tsuyoki Monoyo.
Yeah.
And then you got Suda for...
No. That did not... No, that's not correct. No, because I vividly remember Goto Rara. She is in the Kisadate Hidari Kiki outfits, and she was not in Kisadate Hidari Kiki.
Okay.
So I don't think that's necessarily true. I'm sure they went for it. Or they try to make it as close as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. They tried anyway.
Yeah. Um, the PV itself is kind of weird because it doesn't really feel like a celebration of 10 years. It just feels like another
Yeah.
AVEX PV, which SKE is under AVEX, I think.
Yes.
So it feels like an AVEX PV where they find like a Western looking house and just have a party in it, which happens a lot with AVEX.
Yeah.
And there isn't like any direct mention of the 10th anniversary except for the fact that they have a cake and they have a party.
Yeah. They have a cake which they show at the very beginning, and
Right.
that's I
And
think the only time.
yeah, and then they have the party, and that's about the only thing that even closely resembles a celebration of the 10th year.
So if
And
it's been 10 years, that must mean Jade's like 50 now.
yeah, she's been an idol for 50 years.
Well, I mean, she joined when she was like 40, so.
She was an idol even before she joined SKE. So
Uh,
yeah, that's her golden years. This is her platinum days. Okay.
God, it's just really kind of scary because we've both pretty much been there from the beginning, haven't we?
I mean, I wasn't quite there for 2009, but I started listening to SKE around early 2011. Like it was when what was it that came out in 2011? Was it Bonsai Venus or Padua Emerald?
2011 was Okie Dokie. Yeah, part of Emerald.
Yeah, that's when
Bonsai
I
Venus.
yeah, that's when I got into SKE. The first thing I saw by them was Gomenne Summer, and I still love Gomenne Summer because of that.
Yeah.
There's some memory bias there, but yeah, I that's when I got into them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there for the beginning.
Yep.
That Oh God, I'm old. I remember Jay going to AKB and being front runner for um, that birthday song with My Dotska.
Yeah, and people were mad because
Yeah,
she stole a spot from an AKB member, and SKE was mad because she shouldn't be participating in AKB and should focus on SKE. Yeah,
yeah.
that never-ending loop of hatred.
That never stopped, and now
Yep.
it's so convoluted you can't keep
Now
track of
everyone's in everything.
it. Yeah,
So who gives
yeah,
a fuck? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It's been an interesting 10 years.
Yep. I mean, looking at the outfits, it's really nice and nostalgic. So I really appreciate that they did this. But I feel like each outfit didn't get enough screen time.
I also feel like they need to do designer because, oh my God, those outfits almost all look the same. But I mean, I guess when you're basing it all off of, school outfits type stuff,
Yep.
there's not a whole lot you can do with it.
I like not a lot of it, but some of it. I like Hisatati Dariki. I liked 1, 2, 3 for Yoroshiku. You know, some of the stuff gets a little goofy and too much flair going on, but I think
Also,
it's
the
pretty
Katome was
solid.
a good outfit. That's
Also,
the
the Katome with the
yellow.
hat. Yeah, that
That's
was
the yellow
okay.
check.
Yeah, I think Katome finally, the dark burgundy black base was really
Yeah.
nice. That was dope. So,
I to do.
eh,
It was.
too frilly, too
Yeah.
pastelly. Yeah.
And then they got that blue pastel outfit in there, which I have no idea which one that's from.
I think that's Kisudati Dariki you're talking about. It's like all blue, right? And it's school
Mm,
uniform.
Whereas no, well, it's not on the album cover for Kiss Date,
Oh,
but maybe. Okay, it's not on Type A. Let's put it that way.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe it could be. It looks like something out of Nogizaka though.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
liked it. I like the final outfits.
yeah,
The
those are cool.
The
It's like
cheerleader outfits.
yeah, it's like a modified cheerleader outfit. The top is more of a jacket instead of like a team logo top that most
Yeah.
cheerleaders would wear. So yeah, but the red skirt, it's really big and like poofy, not like frilly, Well, it is frills, but like not like tiny, tiny frills.
Yeah.
I like I like how it has a shape to it, not just like
Yeah.
fluff. But yeah, it's nicely shot. It's good. It's a good nostalgia piece. It's a good fan service piece for guys and girls who have been a fan for a long time. You look at the outfits and go, "Oh man, I remember that PV," and just kind of
Yeah.
reminisce.
And then there's all them PVs that I didn't watch, like Chicken Line.
You don't need to watch Chicken Line. You don't need to watch Gin no Koi or
Kin no I, Gin no I.
yeah. That
I don't even know those songs.
They're not good. They're really not good. They're
think-
not good at all.
God, I think the last one I listened to was like Coquettish,
Coquettish is good. I like that song.
and then some of the maybe.
Igaini Mango was not a good song.
I think I might have heard that one.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
I remember. The outfits were banana colors, not mangoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So I guess I've only missed like 4 singles.
no, not even that much. Probably like 3.
Yeah. No, Coquettish was in 2015.
Yeah,
And
but
then
they've
there
only
was-
released like 3 singles since.
My No Maddie, Chicken Line.
No, you saw My No Meri.
Did I?
I think you did. It's the Matsui Rena send off song. It was on the beach.
Oh.
That was a good PV. It was
Yeah.
really shot well,
Okay.
and the song's awesome.
So I guess that would have been the last one then.
My No Meri is the last SKE song that I truly loved. Everything since has been flat. Just like this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say this one's no different. It's
God.
just very samey.
Yeah. And the problem for me is that specific guitar sound that they use, right, is so often used. It's sort of like the issue I have with Maison Book Girl and the same sounds that they use. That guitar, the main riffing guitar, sounds the same as like every other AKS like song that features a guitar as the main melody. And the melody here sounds like Seigi no Mikata Janai Hero. Again, I feel like I brought this up a while ago, talking about another song where I said, wow, this melody sounds like Seigi no Mikata Janai Hero, which is a Team B-side from, I think, Uza. And Jesus Christ, it's like they took out a couple notes from it, and it's this now.
Yeah. I'd have to go back and listen to that song again.
Yeah. It's a good song. I like that song a lot.
But, yeah. I feel like this is, SKE stuff that I've been listening to for years.
Yeah. This sounds like an SKE song, but it's not really catchy. I don't really hear a hook. And I think there's a weird... The way it goes into the chorus is really abrupt for me. It didn't really build into it, so I thought it was kind of odd there. But yeah, it's an okay song. I would listen to this. I wouldn't put it on a playlist. I wouldn't go out and buy it myself. But if someone was playing it, I wouldn't ask them to skip it, you know?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like, it's not even, like, bad enough to just even make a comment about. Like, it's definitely not bad enough to ask someone to skip it. You know, it's not, like, bad like that. And it's also not even bad enough to, like, make a comment saying it's bad. We're just saying it's not great because it's not great.
Yeah, and it's average.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, it's just...
No. Par for course.
Yeah. But I think AKS, in general, could really use some innovation.
Yep. Akipi basically needs to hire new composers. That's all he needs to do. And make sure they use different instrumentals every time they make a song, not the same ones.
Yeah. It needs something.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I fell out of watching the stage shows, was they just got tiring to
They also
listen
don't have
to.
new stages anymore.
Yeah. No, that's...
Remember he promised like 10 stages in a span of like a year and a half or something, and then we
Yeah,
got like 2 new stages or something.
yeah. He said, "Oh yeah, we got this whole timeline set out for each group to have new stages, and they're gonna have them at this point, and this point, and this point." And
I think the only one that got stages were it's like Team N and uh like K2 maybe got a new stage, right?
maybe I don't know.
I don't
Well, we
remember, but
had A6 and K6,
oh, that's what
B6
it was. It was a
or
was it Team A? No,
B5.
I don't remember, but like only
But
2 new stages after the announcement. That's kind of
no, I
hilarious.
guess we got A6 and K6, but then after that, he announced that yeah, we're gonna do all new stages for everybody, and it's gonna come out in like 3 month increments or something like that. And yeah, 2 years later, they're still waiting on it.
2 years? It's probably been like 3, 4 years now, I think.
Probably.
So
I don't remember when he said that, but
yeah.
yeah,
All right. Anything else on this?
no.
All right, rate it.
Um, this doesn't even hit my nostalgia hard enough for me to
No, it really doesn't.
have that be a factor in it. So I'm gonna give the PV a 72. It's okay, but I got really tired of all I was seeing was arm waving.
Yeah. Well, they tried to make a nostalgia piece with just basically outfits because the only place with nostalgia comes from maybe Matsui Jurina and Taka Akane and Sudakari because everyone else is like a new member that joined within the past 2, 3 years, 4 years maybe,
Yeah,
excluding Obamina, and Obamina's joined like what 3, 4 years ago. So it's not like she has a deep history with them either.
yeah. Well,
So
she she's got a longer history with the group than some of them.
then, yeah, a lot of new members, yeah, for sure.
Well, with AKS overall, I should
Right.
say.
Yeah.
So yeah. The song I'll give a 73. It's all right, but I could use something different.
PV, I'll give a 78. It's shot okay. I think there's a hint of Japan filter there, so the color kind of gets flushed out. I wish they featured the outfits a little bit more, and I think the location's really boring. The typical Avex Western House set is really played out and uninteresting. So, and they do some paint splashes, Dempagumi style, that is completely unnecessary and pointless.
Yeah.
So, I don't need that. Song, I'll give a 76. It's okay. It's got a pretty okay hook. Not great. It's not stuck in my head, but it's not bad.
We never did mention the patches.
Yeah, they have patches on the current outfits with the single titles.
I kind of wanted to see him do it where like it was the songs they appeared in or the singles they appeared on.
Right.
That way, it's like an award.
It's like a military thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just see Jay with them all.
Yeah, she would have the all of it. She's like the fucking colonel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the admiral.
Yeah.
But
All right,
no.
that's SKE 48. Muishiki no Iro. Not bad, not bad. All right, next up, Kuel. Alkalite. Kill, dude.
Yeah.
So,
Oh dear.
I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone here and say that this is probably the best drama PV I've seen in a very long time. And say that this was actually a positive experience for me.
Okay, I gotta hear the why on this one.
Okay. So I think the song, let's talk about the song first real quick for me. I think the song has a pretty good hook for a ballad. Yes, it is a ballad. And Kuel, they don't have the best vocalists, but I think it has a good melody, and I think it is catchy. And I think the song matches the PV very well. It's really emotional. It's about romance. It's about feelings and emotions. It's about drama. Like, it matches the PV very well. And this PV, I guess, it tells a story of a comedian who you see in the intro. He's an actual comedian. He's somewhat famous. His name is Kojima Kazuya. He's with the duo on Jash or and Jash. I don't know how you'd say it in English, but he's a part of a comedy duo, and he's leaving his work around midnight. He gets a line message from his wife saying, "What time are you going to be home?" And he starts to type out, "I'm going to have a drink tonight." So I guess he was probably trying to type, "I'm going to have a drink tonight, so don't wait up for me or don't make me dinner," or whatever, whatever he was saying. But he stops in the middle of it, and he sees a couple walking down the street and reminisces about his past. And it tells a story of a young version of himself in love, living with his then girlfriend or wife, which is his current wife, I'm assuming. And it's about, dumb drama, romance. There isn't really any drama. It just shows like their day-to-day life. And then towards the end, he gets pissed off because he's not like successful or whatever, and lashes out at her. And then she runs away. He goes to chase her. He hugs her from behind, happily ever after. And after the PV is about to end, Koji Mikazuya, he's like, "Stop the taxi! I gotta go to my favorite spot," which is the place where his younger self hugged his wife from behind. And you see his wife, who is actually played by Shaka Yumiko, who's an actress in Gravure Idol. She comes up and is his wife in story, not in real life. He has a actual separate wife, but in story she plays the wife. I'm assuming that's her. She had some work done on her face, so I don't really recognize her, but she's in the credits, so I'm assuming it's her. She sort of looks like her, but that's the story. And it is a story that's been told over and over and over and over again. But for some reason, as a package here, it worked for me. It tugged at my heartstrings. It kind of like gave me the feels. I was like this close, maybe like 3/4 of an inch close to crying a little bit, like having a single tear roll down my face. So I connected with it emotionally. So I thought it was really well done for that. But that doesn't make it like something I want to watch all the time or listen to all the time. So that's my argument. So I think there are redeeming factors here.
Okay. Uh, Maybe it's because I didn't have the emotional connection to it. But there were some things that just bugged me about this, especially the end where he says something to her and they mute it.
Right.
But immediately after he says that, they unmute it and you can hear the crickets and whatnot in the background as he's hugging her. And I just don't understand why didn't they unmute what he said?
Yeah. It's, I mean, it's an easy to follow story. So I guess they just assumed that it's not that important what he said.
And I don't know, it that bugged me because the song stops abruptly right there,
Yeah.
and you expect to hear him say something.
Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah.
and
I
that just
agree.
seemed really odd.
It is odd. If they were gonna pause the music, they should have had him actually say something. But I guess this was basically a non-speaking role for these two actors. So
They didn't have enough money to pay for him to say something.
yeah, but they had the money to hire a famous comedian and a famous actress. So I guess the
Yeah,
money went somewhere.
yeah. It certainly wasn't their dance set,
No.
performance set. I won't say dance set.
Yeah, because they're definitely not dancing. They're just performing in the middle of a field with musicians in the background, and you hardly ever see Kuel.
Yeah, yeah. And then there's a really long, like, I don't know. Is it just credits?
No, that's the ending where he tells the cab driver to go to a special place, and he goes up on the rooftop, and then his wife shows up out of nowhere, and she's like, "Hey, I'm your
Yeah,
wife, dude." And he's like, "Oh man, remember that time when I yelled at you and you ran away and you came here and I hugged you from the back? Yeah, remember that?" That's the end.
but it is just the credits though, isn't it? With the Indian scene playing behind it.
Yeah.
That somewhat annoys me because it's like a good minute and a half or so.
Right.
It's a long video,
It
almost
is.
7 minutes.
Yep. I mean, it's a long song and a drama PV. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I just kind of felt a little disconnected from it because you hear them in the beginning talking,
Right.
and then the music cuts off where you would expect him to talk, and nope, he yells something and then hugs her. And, no.
It's quote unquote creative.
Yeah.
It's a creative way of storytelling. Okay. That's what the staunch defenders would say. I'm not defending it by any means. I'm just saying that's what someone
Yeah.
who would be petty enough to argue about that would say.
Yeah. It doesn't feel creative though. It feels very just I don't know. It feels very chopped together.
Yeah.
And they got a band for this?
Yep. I mean, I think Kuel almost always has a band behind them, at least recently.
I didn't think they did in their video in their PVs. I know they have one when they perform live.
I don't remember. I don't remember if it was the last PV, but the last PV we talked about, they were like sitting around in a dark warehouse. That PV. I don't remember if that PV had a band, but what was their debut with Avex?
Unite as
fuck.
one?
No. Do what? What now? Fuck. I don't fucking remember.
Oh, they're
Cry Dog. Fuck. I don't know.
Cry
That
Now?
one had a band in the back. It was a white room, and the
Yeah.
members are performing in front of the band. So they've had bands in the back before.
I don't know. It's hard to follow what exactly they've released as a official PV and what they've done as like a dance version
Right.
because they were bored one day.
Well, I mean, they were born out of being dance roids, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no dance roiding going on, and that's my biggest issue with this. Not because it's a fucking ballad or, the PV's like a boring drama PV. It's that this is not Kuel at all.
Yeah.
Their roots are based in dance roiding, and there's none of that here.
Yeah.
It's Avex doing Avex shit.
Their whole career literally started as dance covers.
Right. So.
And they got super popular doing it. So Avex signed them. Changed their name.
No, their name's the same. What are you talking about?
No, they used to be known as Dance Roid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Avex didn't change their name because they were indies when they were still Kuel.
Yeah. I think some of the members left. Is why.
Yeah, maybe that's when they changed to Kuel. I don't know.
Um,
Well, they've had the same members since they debuted as Kuel.
yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Yako tries to be expressive.
I mean, it's a ballad, There's a limit to what you can do with a ballad.
Yeah, there's a limit to what you can do dance wise. But she tries to be expressive and emotional in the few shots where you see the members. But yeah, I'm not feeling the drama.
Yeah. It's a long, boring drama PV.
When I watch Kuel, I want to see them.
Dancing, singing.
I want to see Yako.
Yeah.
That
You
means
definitely don't see her very often.
no. Nope. But I can identify her pretty quickly.
Yep. Well,
So I can find her in the few scenes that they do show up in.
they're all pretty different looking, so that helps.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I'm not really feeling the song either. It's just not. It's a ballad, piano ballad, basically.
it's a ballad, but I think it's catchy, and it has a good high end to it. Like, when it builds really high, it's got good energy, and I think that part is melodically sound.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the way it sounds, but I'm gonna skip this if it comes on.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd listen
I'm
to
not
it.
gonna. I'm not gonna listen to it.
Yeah.
I know because I've skipped like 20 songs like that in this week alone.
Yep. This
So,
is the one exception to the billion other ballad songs that I would skip. I wouldn't skip it.
but it's gonna be different too from the studio version. I would hope, anyway. I would hope there's not that pause in the song
No,
where.
oh no, that's a PV thing. That's not a song thing.
So
I doubt
that
that.
would be, I think, better.
Yeah, I mean, if that happened in the song, I would definitely skip it. But like, that's not gonna happen. That's specifically for storytelling purposes. So,
Yeah.
all right, you want to rate it?
I will give the. Uh, I'm gonna give this song a. I'll give it a 73. It's a well done version of a ballad, but I'm not feeling it. The PV I'll give a 62. I got really bored watching it. I have no emotional investment in it.
I think this is the best drama PV I've seen in a long time. I felt emotionally invested. I connected with it somehow. I'll give the PV a 78. I think it's shot nicely. It's it's a cliche story that's been told many many times, but I think they told it really well and straight to the point, not beating it around the bush. They didn't go too deep into it, like addressing character names and their position in life. It's just really straightforward, and easy to understand. The song I'll give a 79. I think it's a really solid ballad song. It is still a ballad song, not my kind of music. I'm usually not in the mood for it, but if this song does come on, if I, maybe I'll buy it someday. I don't know. I'm not really like planning on buying this one, but I think it's a really solid ballad. And if you're into ballads, I think this is one of the better ones out there. It's cool. Alkalite. And last but not least, Musubizm. Matane. Or see you later. Rest in peace, Musubizm.
Yeah, rest in peace. They are disbanding, aren't they?
They are. They are. They're going away.
That's what I thought.
Um, there's really not much to talk about in terms of PV, so I'd like to talk a little bit about Musubizm as a group. I like the group name. I like the concept. I like the logo. I like the members. But something just didn't click. I don't know what it is. It just didn't click with people, fans. I don't know. Management didn't put their efforts, in the right place. They couldn't push them right. I don't know what it was, but it just kind of fell flat. And I think they're just gonna go away and not be remembered at all.
Probably, yeah. I mean, they were one of the few that came over to.
Yeah, J-pop Summit.
Yeah.
And at that point, they weren't known at all.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they're known now,
Yeah,
but
they were pretty well known at that point. I
yeah,
mean, I think they were just getting started at that point, weren't they?
yeah. Maybe their trip to San Francisco put them in the red, and they could never recover from it.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, their PVs never had many views, so none of this is surprising.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised at all when I heard.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It's really disappointing because I think they had good ideas and good members, but just something didn't click. I don't know if it was music. Their music was definitely different from a lot of the other idol groups. They kind of did like indie rock or like new wave pop.
yeah.
So I guess that didn't connect with people. So or management sucks. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean their YouTube channel they get maybe if they're lucky like 7,000 views.
Yeah.
If they're lucky, most of it's like 2.
Yeah. I mean, listening to this and watching this, I can kind of see why, because the song is like this, I don't know, Madonna 80s esque pop song without a very good melody. It's kind of flat, it's kind of lazy, and kind of dead. Like this
Yeah,
group.
yeah. It definitely kind of feels like a song where it's like, yeah, we're done. This is just kind of our closure to everybody.
Yeah,
We don't want to just disband it and not leave, leave it a hole
yeah,
for their few loyal fans that they did have.
yeah,
And it's really sad because they're kind of sitting right there at that cusp where they're either gonna really take off or fall,
right.
because they're right at that 2 year point, and that's generally where a lot of groups start taking off.
Hmm.
But they haven't had the steady increase in popularity.
Yeah, I don't
That
even think they had like one thing to even like get people into it, right? Usually a group gets popular
yeah,
because they have like one good song or PV that like kind of leads them into their, high point. I don't
yeah,
think Musubizm even had that.
yeah. I can't think of anything. Yeah,
Like they've
and
had like two good songs that I've enjoyed, but other than that, it's been pretty uninteresting for me.
I know that for like Chase, I think Chase met him,
Yeah, he was there.
and David. It was all about meeting him
Right,
and the live interaction that they got from him.
right. Like they had really good interactions with him in San Francisco.
Yeah, and they were very open. Management didn't try and
Oh,
secret him
right,
away.
right, 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 right. Yeah, like they
So,
didn't charge for like hanging out and talking to them or whatever, which
yeah, I mean,
happens if you go
yeah.
to any idol event in Japan. It's
Well,
like
I
you
think
have to take
they,
a photograph and you can talk with them for 10 seconds. That's
yeah.
the kind of thing.
Well, I don't think they would have been quite that strict at this one, but or at
Yeah.
San Francisco, but yeah, but
No,
yeah,
they weren't. Yeah.
they were just very open. They weren't, a lot of barriers between them.
Right.
So they got a lot out of the live interaction, but and David liked it,
Yep.
the songs, but I never got into their music.
Yeah. It's it's kind of like not weird, but just kind of like an indie group, like an indie band as well. They just kind of do their own thing and they don't try to like cater at all to anyone, you know?
Which is kind of nice.
Which
In
is
this,
fine, but it's hard to get bigger if you're
yeah,
not catering to some kind of audience that's going to help you get bigger, you know?
yeah, it's like Necronom's catering to what they want to do, but they're into a very niche market as well.
Yeah, but they do it well and they market it
Yeah,
very well.
yeah,
And the
exactly.
fans are super hardcore.
Yeah,
The Musubism never had that, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you on this song. I mean, it's kind of. I enjoyed it enough, especially viewing it as being, their last hurrah.
This is really weird talking to you, talking about this PV with complete silence because I'm
Boy.
watching the PV and the second half of the PV is just shots of the
Oh,
member looking at the camera and it's really weird and voyeuristic and it
yeah,
makes me really uncomfortable and it's completely silent and I'm talking to you trying to have a conversation at the same time. It's kind of weird. Just
yeah,
I'm bugging out right now.
yeah. It is a little weird. I actually skipped that part
Yeah, it's you don't need no one.
because it's kind of a just the members, I guess, giving a farewell message, but it's written.
It's written and then there's like the camera stays on the member's face for like 30 seconds and the
Yeah,
member's just like looking directly at the camera and I don't know how like where what am I supposed to look at? It's kind of weird cuz they're doing like this whole direct eye contact thing and it's kind of odd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, I mean, I watched this, and I'm like, this is a really good PV if you want to know the members,
Yeah,
or if you
yeah,
want to
for
be
sure.
able to really recognize the members.
Yeah, it's like if you're getting to a group and you're like, oh, this member is this. This member looks like this. She has this, and then you can tell them apart. Like, oh, this
Yeah,
member is red and this member is blue or whatever.
yeah, but oh my god, the opening shots of it with all the little videos on top of the video,
Hmm.
oh, that drove me nuts. It's like, where do you look?
Yeah, it's busy.
It's just way too busy.
Yeah,
If they had split that up into, maybe two videos instead of three or four over a little longer period of time, it would have been better. I think there's even shots of San Francisco in there.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think that one shot with is the stage
I don't know.
at
I
the
don't
park.
know what it looked like there.
Well, it reminds me of the TGS stage,
Right.
but the TGS did it on the main stage, not the sub stage. And
Yeah.
I don't know if Musubizm was on the main stage or not, or both.
Yeah. So yeah, not much to say. It's the PV full of behind the scenes footage or pictures. Just
History.
yeah, it's like a slideshow basically. It's a good fan service thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you're not invested, it's kind of, or if you want to get invested, it works, but
Yeah.
it's hard to get invested into a dead group. So
Yeah.
this isn't gonna help you.
Yeah.
It'll just make you feel sad that this group doesn't exist.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yep.
Watching this, and I think this is the first time we've really had a group go, okay, we're releasing our last single. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been oh yeah, well, that was the last single because we're done now.
Yep. It's usually management coming out a little later after they release something or about to release something. They go like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this group is disbanding. Peace."
And then they never released whatever they were going to release.
Yeah, without ever explaining why or how,
Yeah.
and the members' Twitter accounts disappear, and
Yeah.
that.
So this is a good clean break at least.
Yeah, I would say so.
Um, we'll have to see if they go on to do something else.
Yeah,
You never know.
you never know. We might come across them somewhere else. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Rate it.
I enjoyed the video. I would give the video I'd give it like a 77, 76 or so. Um, it was a well done look back at the group rather than just here's a behind the scenes PV. This song I'd give it a 76 as well. I enjoyed the song. I actually enjoyed listening to this one.
I guess I'll be the asshole. PV. Everyone knows who's listened to me. I'm not a big fan of using candid photos and videos from behind the scenes or whatever. I think it's not interesting. I get it in this context, I get that for this purpose they're disbanding whatever, so it makes sense. But not my kind of PV. And I also think the second half where the members are just staring at you for like a minute, like each member staring at you for like a minute, is kind of weird and voyeuristic and makes me uncomfortable. So, not a big fan of that. I'll give the PV like a 66. Song, I can't get into it. It's flat and feels dead and soulless. Musubizm never had great vocals, and that's very obvious from listening to it. And I don't think the melodies are very catchy either. So I'll give it like a 67. That's Musubizm Matane. All right, that's all the PVs for tonight. But before we end the show, gotta pick the MVPV, most valuable promotion video of the night.
I'm curious what your choices are.
Okay, I'll give you mine. My top two is SKE48 and Kuel.
Really?
Yeah, not close.
Wow.
There's a huge difference from 2 and 3.
I would not have expected SKE.
What do you think I would have picked?
I don't know. That was
Someday
but
Somewhere, maybe, I guess. That would have been my 3.
yeah, that's more where I was leaning towards for
Yeah,
you, but
I can listen to a okay average SKE song while I cannot listen to a okay average Nogizaka song. I'll take a okay average SKE song over an okay average Nogizaka song any day.
I did not expect SKE in there. I expected Kuel but yeah.
I know you're not going to go for Kuel, so I'm fine with that. But
Yeah,
Kuel is my number one.
I would probably go with Someday Somewhere and SKE.
Which one do you like more?
I'd probably like Someday Somewhere more, but I see where it has issues. Definitely, the PV is not great.
Yeah, like the PV for SK is not great, but I could watch that a lot
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it has good shots of the members having fun. You know, I'm invested in some of the members quite a bit, you know. So it's easier for me to watch multiple times. Like I plan on like maybe buying the single if I get into it enough. So I think the song is pretty okay. Someday Somewhere, I'm not gonna watch the PV or listen to the song ever again.
I might listen to the song again, but yeah, I probably wouldn't want to listen or watch the video again. So yeah, I definitely see where that one falls short for most people. So yeah, no, I'm okay with SKE.
Okay. SK48, Muishiki no Iro, is the MVPV of the week. Even though I think this week was kind of weak. Even Kuel, I'm not that like huge into.
I can't say that. I can't say Kuel because it just the drama PV thing just doesn't.
Yeah, that's why I'm okay with not fighting for Kuel.
It's very. I mean, it fits with the song being a ballad.
Right. I think that's what I liked about it. It was a cohesive package.
And I can actually see maybe wanting more of that than some of the other behind the scene footage PVs that have been ballads, or even the wannabe dance versions. Because let's face it, it's hard to make an interesting dance to a ballad.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Unless you're doing like ballet.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations to SKE48, Mushiki no Iro. They're the MVP of the week. Don't forget, guys, watching live, listening to us on podcast form. We stream every Saturday nights around 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. At twitch.tv/NewSchoolKaidon and at youtube.com/NewSchoolKaidon. Discord link will be in the show notes, so join the Discord, chat with us, talk to us, hit us up. Or if you're not into real life, what is it? Real life, lifetime.
Real life interactions.
No, I was trying to say real time interactions, because that's what Discord does for me. That's why I like Discord, because you instantly get an answer from people that are on. So if you're into Twitter, you can follow NewSchoolKaidon at NewSchoolKaidon, me at YoshiRect, and Draco at Draco60. Anything else, my friend?
No, not that's safe for the show anyway.
Oh, great. All right. So that's it for this week's show. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later.